Hi, I'm Ben Reeder, and today I'm on location to show you exactly how I live stream weddings and events with just an iPhone and the EventLive software. So really, all I have today, we have a monopod, which could be any monopod, you could get it used, connected to a gimbal. Today, this is the DJI Osmo 2. You can use a 3 or 4, doesn't certainly matter, or any gimbal for that matter. Then we have a simple mixer. This is a 2-channel mixer, and this is the Comica CVM AX1, as well as then it's set up with really simple audio setups. We have the Rhodes Wireless Go 2s, which gives me availability to then have 2 transmitters for the 1 channel. And then I have on the 2nd channel, I have it powering my Rode microphone, which gives me a left and right channel setup. I also keep it pretty simple for the streaming connection as well. So I'm using the iPhone 11 Pro, and as well as a hotspot. So this is my personal hotspot. This is Verizon, but any one of them, AT&T, and on my cell phone is T-Mobile. T-Mobile's nice because the package I'm using is unlimited, and the hotspot, I have about 120 gigs on there loaded that I can use for events for the month. So together, I use an app called Speedify. Speedify is a yearly subscription or monthly subscription, but what it does is helps use cellular bonding. So it takes both of those signals and brings them up together so if we get a faster upstream for the event. Now that you get it all set up, how do you get to your audience? I personally use the EventLive software, which is beautiful because it is an app both used for iPhone or Android, and it's a simple one-touch system setup. All right, now that we got our gear all set up, let me go through the mindset of what's next. First thing I do, hands down, I turn my phone on Do Not Disturb, just because you don't want anything coming in or worrying about any interruptions with a text message or notifications coming up. Then I launch my Speedify app and my EventLive app to make sure those applications are up and running with no problem. The Speedify app is going to help me determine whether or not my Wi-Fi signal or my cell phone signal or my hotspot signal is good enough. Because today I'm using 3 different things. I have a Wi-Fi signal, which I'm able to pull from the venue because I'm close to the location here. I have my hotspot, and of course my cell phone. Now when I'm doing these tests, I'll run all 3 to make sure to see what's best. It could be a combination of 2. It could be the Wi-Fi and the hotspot is the 2 together. It could be your cell phone and the hotspot. But either way, you want to test that out and want to make sure your bit rate, upload rate is better than 5. Typically, if you're at 10, 12, 15, you're going to be excellent condition for the entire thing. But those are the 2 first things. Once we get those nailed out, and then you can feel better about it getting started. So next, let me show you exactly what I do to set up during the wedding day. All right, so next up is really location, positioning, getting ready for the bride and groom. So I personally, right now we don't have any chairs out, but you can envision there would be chairs here, and this is where the processional is happening. So we have the bride and groom coming down. Now the reason why I don't stand in the back, first off, is because the bride really wants 2 things during a live stream. She wants to be able to see herself coming down the aisle, and they want to be able to hear the audio during the ceremony, or during their vows. So those are the big major pieces. So if I'm stationed in the aisle itself, I'm able to get this. The beauty of this setup is I don't have the tripod, I'm not going to get out of the way, or I'm not going to get in anybody's way. The photographer, even if there's a videographer, I'm not going to be able to get in their way. And I honestly can stay out of the way. So right now I'm able to follow action as it comes down. If you can imagine, here's a bridesmaid coming, I'm able to go and turn with it and watch them real quickly, and then back again. Now the only downside is you can't do this fast because of live streaming in general is about uprate, right? So if I do this too fast, your bit rate's going to change, right? It just takes more processing power for all that kind of stuff to happen. So a lot of times what happens, I bring them in, I only go about halfway, I watch again, and then I bring it back out, right? So as each bridesmaid coming in, they can feel this, or groomsmen, or whoever it might be coming down the aisle. So they're feeling motion. This style allows you to have what we coined as, well, we haven't coined it in real life. So the IRL is that feel, like they're really there. It's not that 2-camera action where you got one camera stagnant, and the other camera stagnant, and it's going back and forth. So we're really able to do this. Now, the reason I mentioned probably before is why I use the Osmo 2 is for this exact reason. I'm able to put the camera on the ground when I'm actually in position. It keeps the balancing. But then I can go low. I can go really low when, say, the ring bearer and flower girl come in. So I'm really down on their level, and then bring it right back up and holds nice and tight. What I find with the 4 is that when you go too far down, you can go a certain amount down and have it set for that leveling, but after a certain point, it automatically starts facing down. So you can't get those big sweeps. So I can't do this and simply go down like that and back up and be able to catch all that stuff. So that's only a little, I mean, that's just my personal preference. Obviously, you could shoot it any way you want. The downside of the 2 as well is I can't go too wide. This here, this arm, this older arm was made before, you know, the cell phones have this wide angle now. So if I go too wide, this is going to be picked up, right? So that's not a big deal. But then once the bride and groom come down, we're able to turn and face the opposite way, and now we're able to catch the action. All right, now that the bride and groom are at the altar, I typically turn and find myself, I try to either get myself out of the way where I can be completely, give the aisle to, say, the photographer, or if there's an actual chair here, I give myself, sometimes I do that, I reserve a spot where I come and I sit. So literally I can just then hold this out in the kind of the aisle to catch everything. So that's really nice to have that kind of angle. So, and I'm also in a position where I can maybe pan back and forth a little bit if the action really hasn't happened, be able to do this. But honestly, it's a one shot at this point. I try to keep it right straight in the middle. The only change I make is once the kiss happens, then I typically just take it and we start following. We literally just follow back, bring the camera along with us, following the bride and groom out. And because we're mobile like this, we're able to do that. And at some point, depending on the venue, and depending on when they're going to finish the last, I'll actually have the couple come up to the camera and stick that camera right in their face. This is maybe where then I turn it onto the onboard mic, and then turn off the other ones just in case, depending on, and get the reaction shot. Right then, they're typically saying a lot of times like, "Hey, thanks for attending. We love you. Sorry you couldn't make it." They give a really beautiful send off, and that could be the end of your day. Hey everybody, thanks for watching. I hope you found this informative. For links to the gear and software, check out the description below, and also check out our channel for more information just like this.